As we know that employee are the most important asset of the organization, and most of the employer are nowadays facing a problem that employees switch from the company very frequently, and it is difficult to find, you can say, the loyal employee for the employer. And because hiring is a costly process, too much cost is involved into recruitment and the advertising and the selection process and the training process. And suppose suddenly employees leave the company, then it is very difficult for the organization to replace that employee overnight, and also cost is involved. So it is better to you can say the retain their best employee for the longer period. So in this video we are going to discuss about reducing employee turnover. Companies can listen the employees problem and make them feel involved into the organization, by which they can create the employee loyalty, and in the longer term they can reduce the employee turnover. So here we are discussing about a few points by which companies can reduce the employee turnover. Firstly, at the time of interview, company must be careful while selecting the right candidate. That means that person is having the proper skill, KSA, knowledge, skill and abilities, having the proper KSA proposition, and that employee must be, you can say, the compatible or ready to work with our culture, company's culture and the other co-workers. So many companies are using different kind of approaches for this thing. Like one of the IT company decided to include a lower level officer or a lower level employee also into the interview of a higher level officer, by which the lower level officer can ask related questions which are related to the lower staff. What is opinion of the a person who is going to be appointed on the top positions? So these kind of approaches can be used to check the exact skill of the employee and suitability of that employee with the company's culture. The another thing which is possible, that is flexible work schedule can be provided to employees, and innovative kind of monetary and non-monetary benefits, and the bonus structure of something creative bonus structure. And one of the very important point is that is recognition and the praise, because in the case of transport officers, security officer case, we have seen this, that there was a problem of recognition of employee. Non-monetary reward are as important as the monetary reward, and from company's perspective also, non-monetary reward are beneficial for the company and for the employees also. So some kind of reward system or annual recognition, this can be work out. And one more important thing, that so many times companies refuse to increase the salary of their current employee or to provide training to the current employee, and in this situation the current employee leave the company or resign from the company, and now to find new employee through the advertisement, recruitment process, selection process, and the onboarding and their training, the amount total invested or into this whole process is sometimes double than the increment of the current employee. But what happens, कंपनीज करंट एम्प्लॉय की सैलरी नहीं बढ़ाएगी, वो रिजाइन कर जाएगा, उसके बाद आप एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हो, न्यूज़पेपर में दे रहे हो, फिर दो चार सिलेक्शन हो रहे हैं, उनको ट्रेनिंग के लिए भेज रहे हो, और फिर वो ज्वाइन करते हैं, तो इतने टाइम आपका काम भी सफर हुआ कंपनी का, एंड importantly it has a negative impact on remaining employees also. They also find that कि one of our colleague resigned from the company, and there was no effort from company's side to retain that employee. So this also hurt the em morale of the current employees also. So need to think on the cost involved. So it is better to give proper salary increment and proper working environment to current employees rather than planning to replace that employee. Hiring hiring the right people from the start. That means at the time of interview, checking of the knowledge, skill and abilities, and also compatibility of that employee with your organization, asking that employee for their future plan. Uh, are they ready to stay longer with our company, or they have something else in their mind for their future? So much depend on the you can say the selection process or hiring process. Then company must set a right compensation plan for the employees, and also annual review of that compensation plan is also important, because inflation is not the same every year, and so many other factors depend on different economic scenario and different stage of employees life. So review of compensation package annually is also important, and so many times companies need to provide a support to employees personal life also, and they can provide them flexibility with their work schedule, and there are you can say the female employees in the organizations, and company can provide some kind of flexibility to them, and some personal needs are also there. So company or HR managers can provide a kind of support to them and involve them with your organization goal. Every employee must be aware about the organization goal, and he or she must feel that he is also part of that goal. His or her role is as important as other employees' role. So by which they are going to attached with the organization goal, and they will like to contribute for the uh, organization goal also. So every employee must feel that he or she is important for the organization to achieve the overall goal of organization. These are few points those can be used to reduce the employee turnover.